Welcome into Coffee and Chel, episode 28. It is October 11th. Tons of stuff to go over. So yesterday was Friday. It was a new release. And we had actually gotten the face-off event on Tuesday, so there was some questions as to whether we would get a brand new event. Turns out we didn't get a new event. However, we got like a mini content nuke. We got new icons, heroes, rookies, new captains, as well as event cards, and that essentially shattered and everything that had been building in terms of our teams and everything like that leading up to that, which we'll get into. But essentially, with all of the new line combos, there was a bunch of new line combos added, and all of these new high-end players, it really absolutely demolished the market. And again, this is the first year of them doing something like this, so we have no info on how it is going to work in the future, which is why I do my Market Monday videos. But yesterday was a big learning opportunity. And yeah, so we're going to talk about the content. We're going to talk about the captains, Connor McDavid coming out. Obviously, that is polarizing in the sense that Connor McDavid is now out. Everyone can make him. Also, if you had Connor McDavid, who is the most expensive card in the game, that's now crushed in price. So we'll talk about that because I don't think you should rush out and make him now after going through everything of making him, and I'll talk about that. Making Lindros, who looks to be absolutely god tier. Need to talk about your energy sliders. So I don't know if this is tinfoil hat theory, but in the 15 games that I've played, last night and today, maybe 10, I've noticed with all my new players, my entire team is new. I have 11 new players in my lineup. You'll see it on No Money Spent. It's crazy. But that being said, my entire roster loses energy like NHL 23 when the energy system first came in, when like full pressure was broken. Remember when like even if you didn't clear it, if you exited out of the zone, you would still get the full pressure like debuff, like even while you didn't have it. It was a mess. But every single line is like yellow or red. It's crazy. So lowering your energy sliders, someone that came in my Twitch chat and said, hey, put them on like 2. So if you go into your strategies and settings on each line, you'll see energy or efficiency. Put it all the way to the left and then go like 1, 2 to the right. So 2. I've noticed that it's better. So apparently that might be the fix for it, but I don't know what's going on. I had it at 5 originally on every line, and it was just crushing my energy. So the market, we'll talk about the market and my new philosophy or my adjusted philosophy on what I'm doing with all the cards that I get. So let's break down top to bottom. So the content yesterday, it was great. Let's talk about the pros. We got like, these like when you get all these new icons and heroes and all of that stuff, it's really just like 12 new cards, but it's all like 12 top end, S tier. A lot of them aren't, but great cards that we just aren't used to. Like in the last like 5 years, we would just get a random event. It would just be, heavy hitters 7.0 or whatever, right? This new format where, because they got rid of chase cards, I said this last year, all throughout last year, the only way to combat the fact that we don't have chase cards, and by chase cards, I mean like year long, you can upgrade them at your own pace. It's slow but sure, but eventually end up with a 99. They're very expensive, but you build them and then the only way to combat that, if they're going to get rid of that, is if they just overload us with content at all times. This week, with the face-off event having great options like Rantanen and Byfield, the team of the week being one of the best team of the week cards that we've ever gotten. I mean, Pettersson's up there as well, but just in terms of like, my God, I got to have this team of the week card. That doesn't happen very often in the last like 5 years. That was on Wednesday and Tuesday, right? And then we get new icons, and Lindros and McInnes are really good. Lindros is in a tier of his own. He is probably Coffee might still be my first make, but Lindros is probably the first one I would try and get without demolishing your team. And again, we're going to talk about that. And then you have rookies. A really good Cale Makar is awesome. I love Cale Makar. And even Stamkos is awesome. And then Carey Price, goaltenders don't mean anything, and they're usually just a waste of coins and resources. But Carey Price is usually pretty good in game, and he's an exciting player. Like, everyone loves him. So, like, at least it has interest there. And then you have the captains. So we all anticipated a transaction card for Connor McDavid. And everyone asked me, should I sell my Connor McDavid in preparation for that? And I said no, because if it's a transaction card, that's a card that you have to pull. No one is going to pull that. No one is going to pull it. And I listed off the examples so far throughout the year, what happens when you have a really good card and what happens when a better version of that card comes out that is more expensive. So I used Troy Terry as an example, very loose example, but I think the philosophy's there. Troy Terry's base card was amazing because of the duck line, and then they came out with like an 86 Troy Terry. His price stayed at 150, but Troy Terry's price dropped to like 45 and then stayed there. It didn't drop that much because no one's pulling these cards. Like, it's very hard to pull those cards, and everyone wants Troy Terry. Again, example. So same thing happened with McDavid. I was very confident that if they released an 86 or 87 transaction Connor McDavid, that card would be 1,000,000 coins, and everyone would still want the 85 base Connor McDavid. I did say, however, that the one caveat to cards crashing in price is if you can build them. I use Joe Sakic as an example. His alumni the first 2 weeks of the game, or first week of the game, was like 200K. Buildable icon Sakic came out, that card crashed to like 70,000 coins. Very obvious for that reason. It is something you don't have to rush out and get. You can build at your own pace, and you can put all of your untradeable resources that are not on the market into this card to make the price less. I did not anticipate in a million years that they would make a buildable Connor McDavid. And I do think that it is, I'm happy for the casual player, and not even the casual player, just like the not rich, like wants to play the game, plays the game a lot, but can't afford it. McDavid was the chase card. It was the card other than fantasy, but McDavid was the card you save all of your coins for to go out and get, and now you've got the best card in the game. Fits in the line combos, all that stuff. That was the play, right? Anyone that had Connor McDavid's base card got absolutely smoked. And if you had just bought in McDavid, you'd saved up since launch, and you just got him yesterday, like before content, good Lord, I feel bad. Because a build where Connor McDavid came out, now he's going for less than 100,000 coins. I want to point out, I have changed a little bit of my tune after playing the game and building my team about the Connor McDavid captain card. It is the best card in the game. I stand by that. It is the best card in the game. The other three are good cards. Zibanejad. McAvoy, I think, is actually like nasty, especially if you pair him with Chara. But you also have Zibanejad and Yossi. Thank you. Yossi can go with Cale Makar's rookie card and be a +2 and awesome. Okay, so there's usefulness there. So I did what I thought I should do. Okay, new card comes out, new line combo comes out, blinders. Okay, I went into it like the last 10 years of HUT. I had 500,000 coins. I had pretty much the best team already, and I had a whole slew of things I could still sell. Okay, of untradeable stuff. I went in, immediately traded in Joe Thornton, which I think is the right move, for Lindros, okay? And I was like, I'm not going to trade in Solani, Coffee, Fedorov, or Sakic. I think those cards are way too good. Don't trade those in. Save up, and if you want Lindros and you need an icon, I would just buy an icon or make one. I would not trade in those other options, okay? So I made Lindros. I'm like, okay, perfect. Then I took Heiskanen out, who was my captain. Awesome card. Loved his card. Threw him into McDavid because it's not even a debate. This McDavid card is so much better than Heiskanen. Have McDavid, okay? Then I went and I was like, okay, I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna get rid of. Finally, I had just gotten rid of earlier in that day. I had gotten Byfield and Tage Thompson. I moved on from Roenick and Teravainen. So I had Roenick, I had Naslund, I made Gartner. Okay, I spent like maybe 150,000 coins on the alumni that I needed to make those. Maybe 200,000. Because I had all the other stuff available to me. Okay. Then I go throw them in the lineup. My first line, best line in the game. I still stand by that. The Gartner, Lindros, McDavid line, unfair when it's on the ice. Here's the issue. Number one, if you are a good player, and by good I mean gold, and you regularly get 12 wins in champs. Okay, maybe 11 or 10, but you get double digits in champs. Okay, everyone's team is that. Everyone's team is that. And while having that first line is great, and it allows you to counter that, the other team having that first line, all of them are buildable cards. So they are going to be much more in abundance. So the best line is buildable. Much like how at the beginning of the game when Sakic was. When Sakic with Naslund and Pasternak, right? So the advantage that you get is not what you would expect. My first 5 games of champs, I played the exact same first line, and they were like a -1. Because I'm literally just countering the other time. So it's not like you're going to go in with that line and just dominate straight up. Now, the games I played where my opponent did not have that first line, like absolutely gas, okay? Here's the other issue. Again, you're going to see this in No Money Spent. I demolished the ability, the team build I had. So Connor McDavid, best captain card, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. He is the worst captain for the team build, for the top end cards in the game. So if you have a meta team, you've got a great team. You've been watching my videos. You've been grinding all year so far. You have some of the best team. There is not a lot of top end Pacific Division players that fit well, right? If you have like the meta team. So it made it very difficult to get the 6 Pacific players to activate the 5 AP bonus on Connor McDavid. Now, you have to do that to justify the cost. Because remember, if you don't have Connor McDavid's base card, I'm going to get to this in a second. The advantage of going up +1, it's like very minimal, right? Like you're just going up +1 overall. However, if you go up +1 overall and you get a 5 AP bonus, you're laughing. That's a major bonus upgrade over the base Connor McDavid. But until there is more Pacific Division players that are released that are defensemen, like top-end defensemen, it is going to be very difficult. And it ruined my team. I went on like a massive, like I tried to force players in, and I ended up using like Askarov and net, who might be the worst goaltender in Hockey Ultimate Team I've ever experienced. Like worse than Darren Pang. I don't know what it is about Askarov cards. God awful. Anyways, my D-core was crushed. I had to bust up like my third line. The only line that stayed intact was my marquee line because I needed the salary. And my fourth line is very good, and I would recommend it if you can still. You can't really still get it, but making your fourth line very good is important. But that being said, here's my recommendation. If you did not have Connor McDavid, you did not have him, go and buy him in the auction house for under 100,000 coins. Everyone panic sold him, as they should technically, but it is still the second best card in the game behind his captain card. So I would buy Connor McDavid's card and then wait. Because the captain cards are stupid expensive to make, right? They are very expensive to make. You need 83s, and those are just insanely expensive, obviously. I have now come to realize that when they release, we're at the mercy of them with new content. The clear advantage that you want at this point now is anytime you get like an 83 overall card and above, just keep it and wait and see if it has a line combo that fits it well. So with McDavid, I would buy his base card if I didn't have it and use his base card and wait. I wouldn't just go out and make McAvoy or make Yossi or whatever, unless it's your favorite player and you have a good team build or whatever. I would just wait. I would just wait and see, because on Tuesday and Wednesday, if they release more cards that fit into some of these line combos, it is going to drastically shift the market. Like the market went insane. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. The Artem Guriev card, former Shark, by the way, he is an 82 overall transaction card. He's okay. He's got like 90 speed, 75 defensive awareness, has truculence, good body checking. Actually, a pretty fun looking card. It's a transaction card. No one pulls them. It is now the most expensive card in the game outside of fantasy. I'm talking like 400,000 coins, because he pairs with a new line combo with Cale Makar. If they release a left-handed flyer defenseman, that card will crater in price. So I am just out of chasing after whatever fits the new hotness line combo right away. And what I just did was I went through my lineup, and I was so frustrated because I couldn't get the players in that I wanted to because of the line combos and all of that. I just said, screw it. I'm done with line combos other than my first line and my fourth line that gives me all the salary. I'm just going to put my best players in. Unbelievable. We're so locked in that every line needs to have a boost. But if you have a great collection of cards, then use them. And I think that we're so trapped in putting worse cards in to get a +1 somewhere, when if we just used a better card, that you'll be in a good spot. So I'm just now waiting. It is, I think that you just need to wait and see as to what comes out, and don't rush, especially on Fridays, guys, because there's there's 3 days before new content. So if you're going to sell them, I'd do it before Tuesday, because that's when new content could come out and you could protect yourself. But I'm with you. I lost tons of value in my Connor McDavid. It's just a learning experience. This new content team, there's no predictability on it, right? There's no way to know what to do. When it comes to Lindros, you can safely make Lindros, again, as long as you're not trading in Fedorov, Sakic, as well as Coffee and Solani. I would keep those. So that is what happened there with my team and kind of the philosophy on that. The lower the sliders thing, yeah, like I mentioned, lower them to 2 in terms of efficiency. It's brutal right now. I don't know what's going on with the energy, but it's a mess. So, in terms of the market, I've been selling everything since the start of the game to have a ton of coins, and it has benefited me greatly. And I think that I have a lot of feedback where people are like, "Yeah, when new stuff comes out, I'm excited to do it." When a ton of new top end stuff comes out, that's when it sucks because you see swings of like 83s going for 20K and now they're 60, right? Not only that, I'm now more fearful. Like I might go through every team and be like, what's the top left-hand defenseman? Base card, whatever. Because Sanderson, for example, for the Ottawa Senators, you can pair with Makar. It's a great +2 combo. Awesome combo, right? But Sanderson was going for like bare price beforehand, right? So if you just went and looked and you were like, I don't know if there's a lot of St. Louis Blues, like, centermen. Like, I wonder if if I pulled Robert Thomas, maybe I just like pocket him. Don't sell him immediately and I just wait. I'm gonna play a wait and see game for a little while. Again, I've talked about this all year. I'm really trying to learn the market, and this is just an adjustment. This is nothing that you can predict. So I think they want you to hold on to your stuff. And I think that's the play for a lot of it, especially during the events. I don't think I'm going to make a master set player item until 10 minutes before the reset when the event goes away ever again, because they keep coming out with line combos when the event's about to end and it completely changes everything. Like there were so many marquee cards that you wouldn't have traded in for a master set player item. Like if you had Duclair, if you had Mercer, if you had Pajot, like you just wouldn't trade them in because now they're worth way more and they're just more useful on your team than making, I don't know, Aaron Ekblad, who's now usable, but that was just an example, right? So the other thing, again, just want to touch, use your best team. Try it. If you are up against the cap or you can't get everything to fit, take everything out. Keep your best line together. Like I said, if you have Gartner, Lindros, and McDavid, keep that together. The rest of your team, just use your best players and see what happens. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So that was a lot of yapping, but there was so much going on yesterday. We'll switch over to the most liked comments for the last little bit. Ferocity says, Sleeves, I watch you every day. I've learned that every single time I don't listen to you, I get burned. Moral of the story, listen to your experience. Hey, I am not always right. When it comes to like market stuff, like I said, I'm not there. A lot of people lost money on McDavid, probably because of me, because I said don't sell during the transaction thing. I did not anticipate that was in the realm of possibility. The same thing's going to come up with McKinnon, because now McKinnon is starting to drop in price. There's no guarantee that McKinnon gets a buildable card, but if he does, it's like I don't know what to do. There's no actionable thing here. Like I hate when people are like, "Do I sell the best card that I just pulled?" But like, what else are you going to use on top of that? Just like, I don't know. I'm okay that I lost it sucks. And there's a lot of people that it crushes way worse. But like I said, it's just, if you use McDavid for 3 weeks and you lost 300,000 coins because you didn't sell him at his peak, it's like you got 3 weeks of Connor McDavid, right? Like that's how I'm trying to think about it, right? Like justifying it. So I don't know. It's a mess. I want to get this out there. Is there a new if there is ever a new get shot blocks challenge, just shoot at your own players in the O-zone, another EA moment. Oh, does it actually like work? Or is that like that's hilarious. You can just take one-timers from your own players or shoot that. That's nuts. Okay. Fun to know that. If you enjoy doing the moments lately, you are a sick individual. Stupidly difficult, not fun, pure EA. Yeah. They still haven't been addressed. So that will hopefully happen before the timer runs out on the dry settle moments. If not, it's just impossible. I think they should bring back coaches for every NHL team, maybe the biggest leagues. And if you have maybe 4 players from that team, you get a +1 overall. It also gets one more in the salary cap. AP, for example, you have 6 Canucks on a coach and all of them together, +1 boost and +6 million to the cap. I would love something like that. But it's kind of what we have now. But it should be more team-based. I'm with you on that. It 100% should be more team-based. One thing they could do to double up the current amount of chem boost is to allow it to be more activated more than once. That's, yeah, like the Nashville, Canada one is like you can activate in like 7 different players. I just think that would make the players from everyone would just have Nashville Predators and Canadians, like the entire top six, right? And that kind of ruins the like the being forced to like build your team is the fun part. I know I just went over saying that use your best players and stop being so locked into chem boost. That's more of a cost thing. I don't want to spend another 400,000 coins to get a backup goalie. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make Philip Heedle's fantasy card because I'm a Canucks fan. Had to do the random B&D set and got Larson. Of course, this is the biggest pain point. It was my biggest feedback for me at TEA about the fantasy event. You're the exact person. Like it sucks. It's awful. The problem with line combos is that forces players to use cards just to get the AP overall salary instead of actually being able to use the players you like. My team is riddled with randoms instead of players. This is becoming something that, like, again, I'm aware. Like, I'm with you on. I am with you on. And if they had more combos, it would hopefully allow that. But I'm with you on that for sure. The big thing that I want them to do is use multiple captain cards. This is now huge. So not to get the double boost, but if they allow us to use multiple line combos, like 100%, McDavid, his value goes through the roof for his captain card. Everything I just said about like the captain boost goes away because if you could go back and make Heiskanen and use Heiskanen, who's guys, defense is a mess right now. Trying to find like the perfect six, there's so many arguments to be made about different line combos. There's no other than Paul Coffey, there really isn't a Lindros, McDavid, Gartner, all that kind of stuff. There really isn't. Which is good, I think, but it's defense is lacking that super top end. And Heiskanen is one of the better cards. I loved him in Zubov. And if they released another option other than Zubov, I think that'd be huge. But I'm with you. If they need to, I think that would be great because the captain cards are good. I would use Yossi with Makar maybe. I made rookie Makar. So I completely agree on that. And again, if that happens, that changes everything from what just happened this weekend because of McDavid being so hard to get the lineup that you want. So that's going to do it for this episode of Coffee and Chel. Again, crazy content release. I do enjoy it. Like, I think that it was very good. It doesn't take away from all of the issues that have come up throughout the year so far. But, I'm going to enjoy it when I can get to enjoy it. And the content yesterday was really fun. Community was all, like, exploded. So more of that. And that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.